Welcome back. Yes, it is another episode for you to enjoy called Made in the 1980s. I am still Camp from the Port. And with me again this week, I got my guy who will introduce himself to you all right here.
It is Wayne Dang. Please save the damn doodle.
Please say it. And you look well rested. You look like you're ready to get things going today.
I don't even know if it's that I'm well rested. I finally cut my facial hair, so I don't look like I'm unloved anymore. I finally decided to clean my face up and I'm rested because I ain't been to work since Saturday.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. I might be rested as well.
Yeah, for a person that's probably working normally 6 days, you're overly rested. You're more rested than you realize.
You're probably right. But before we get into it, I gotta give a shout out to my cousin, Coach Key, and his beautiful wife Kayla. They got married this Friday.
Nice.
Awesome ceremony. Everybody had a good time. Beautiful ceremony. Congratulations to y'all. Love y'all.
Yeah. Congrats. Love wins. For Freeport wedding?
Yeah.
Hey, loving the 815. It's beautiful.
Yeah, real nice. Had to shout him out real quick.
So real quick though, since you've done that, I got to ask a question that relates to this show. Did they play any of the wedding songs that you tired of hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now that we've established it, was it just at the reception, or did they come down to the aisle to it? Was it the song break before the vows? Like what song? Or if you want to give us away what song, or if you just want to tell us like where it played, it don't matter to me.
The song that they came down the aisle to. For the life of me, I can't remember who sings the song or the title.
Mm-hmm.
But I know in the lyrics, well, it's not a song that I will personally listen to, but it's not a bad song.
Okay.
But I know in the lyrics, it talks about the I'm trying to think of the melody. Something like we were kids.
Hey, I thought you was about to sing the Black National Anthem at first. I was like, oh, straight up. Yo, you come out to the Black National Anthem. It's kind of hard, though. Low key.
Hey, that's hard as hell right there.
Right. Like, lift up your voice and sing. Damn it.
Yeah, it was a song talking about when they, like, them falling in love as kids and still being together. Because they met each other. They was like, I want to say he was 15, she was 14. And they've been together since.
Really? Well, I wonder if it's the Tamia joint.
It was a white guy. I know for a fact it was a white guy.
Oh, because Tamia got a joint like that. And it's actually fire. You know what I'm saying? I forget I forget the name of the song as well, but Tamia got a song that's just like that's talking about her and Grant Hill. So
it's fire. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dude. And then of course, All My Life and fucking too young for here. They're too young for here and now. But most definitely got a Casey and JoJo All My Life.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because all My Life played over. All My Life is the song that our era played for them.
Yeah,
if they're younger than us.
Yeah, I want to say you got him by give or take 10 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I got him by about 7 or 8.
So yeah. So literally, like the song he heard, the song that replaced Here and Now is literally All My Life.
Right.
So yeah, that's like, oh no, that's what you throw on when you feel it in your heart. Okay.
That's dope. This is what you play when you find out what love truly is.
You know what I'm saying? It's only right. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Luther Vandross. Shout out to Casey and JoJo. Love on February. You know what I'm saying? On the February month. It's cold outside. Find you somebody to love And man, it's a good thing that we started off with love because, man, I mean, low key, this show, it's about to be about hate. It's about to be about hating, or just effing complaining. This week, I want to talk about how cancel culture is out and complain culture is in. Now, for everybody that may have tuned in to the Create-a-thon later this month or last month, I don't even know when you're going to hear this, or when you've seen the Create-a-thon, whenever you decide to see that, just know that this is the continuation of that topic. It's more robust, it's more expanded, it's not in the midst of a 2-hour and some change show. This is the topic for this week on Made in the 1980s. And I think it's fair that we do this by some sort of a timeline, if you will. You dig? So first, I want to say this. Last decade, the 2010s, right? The 2010s, many people were worried about losing their, sponsorships, endorsements, record deals, TV shows, or just like your actual business because of things that they did in their past or were accused of doing in their present, right? And we, the people, we deem that as cancel culture. So what did that mean, right? That mean that you can't say the other F word because the other F word is now abolished. You can't say that. You can't talk like that anymore. And if you do, then people would do things to like find your address, find your place of business, and they would ostracize you from the economy, really. And that would be a way for you to, I guess, learn your lesson, right? Be humbled. Make sure that you are not a hateful being. And that is the way that cancel culture was birthed and formed, right? I am cancel. I know that for a fact that cancel culture was a big thing. Matter of fact, cancel culture was a really big thing until Trump got in office. And then it became a thing of fake news. Like fake news started taking over a little bit, right? But back to cancel culture. Cancel culture was a really big thing. People were said to have lost their careers, lost their sources of income, all of these things for having, human moments, as they say. Human moments. The first person that I think of when we talk about cancel culture, Wang, and I don't even know if this is the first one. I don't know. But I'll tell you the first notable one that I remembered was old Kramer. Kramer at the comedy show. When Kramer was like, he's a nigger. He's a nigger. And I was just like, all right, that's a little extreme, homie.
I got to do some research. I remember Kramer doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure because the one I had wasn't Kramer.
Okay.
But I don't know which one came first. I don't know which one was the chicken or the egg.
Right. And for everybody that may not know who we're talking about, so Kramer was a character from Seinfeld, but the Seinfeld actor who played Kramer, his name was Michael Richards. That was the first person that I think, but I ain't gonna say that I think about creating cancel culture, but that's the first person I remember. And wildly enough, Seinfeld had been off the air. He was back to doing stand-up comedy, and unfortunately, he was being heckled by some black people at the show. They were like, yo, you're not funny. And of course, we've seen hecklers at comedy shows all the time. And usually they get handled in a way that was entertaining, or you're more mad at the person heckling than you are the person being heckled. So wildly to me, we get this clip that releases of Michael Richards, aka Kramer, and he's going back and forth with a guy about the set, and he has to get him out of here because he's a nigger. and he's being a nigger. That's literally what he said. I can't make it up. There's no sauce on it. I'm not exaggerating in the least bit. And the way he said it, it was almost like he had a Kramer moment. Well, call him a nigger. He's a nigger. He's a nigger. I said it. He's a nigger. I'm like, oh wow, geez, this is crazy. And that, led to booing. See, apparently he forgot where he was, or he just thought, man, maybe because I'm going to use the dictionary term that it's going to go over well. Well, it didn't go over well. It didn't go well at all. That resulted in Michael Richards, aka Kramer, kind of being outcasted, if you will. The comedy world really didn't want to hear from him. A lot of comedians, legendary comedians, like let's say like Chris Rock, he was like, the main thing is the main crime that he committed was not being funny and then reacting poorly to it. To this day, I don't remember what Seinfeld said about it. Jerry Seinfeld, that is the actual comedian, but I know that he wasn't on the wrong side of history just because of the way he handled Louis C.K. So I know just off the rip how he handled that Jerry Seinfeld is official, and he probably did not take too kindly to this, and as a result, and I could be wrong, but I don't think we've ever seen Kramer again, like anywhere, doing anything.
Yeah, I haven't seen that man's face outside of Seinfeld reruns.
Yeah.
And I'm actually shocked. I know I'm not shocked. If that would have happened, if that say Seinfeld was a show that was on air right now, if it hadn't happened back in, because I looked it up, it happened back in 2006.
Yeah.
If that would have happened more recently, we wouldn't even see Seinfeld reruns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they would have did away with that show altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since he was one of the people that, quote, made the show.
Right.
Even though I don't think you'll find a more capable cast where I think everybody was just as important as the next person. But yeah, it would have been really hard to say, well, he can still do the show with us and everybody be cool with it.
Right.
That would have been difficult. So yeah, who did you have?
Up out of here.
Right. Who did you have as the first person that you remember being canceled?
Like I said, when you brought the Kramer thing up, I do remember that, and I'm like, yeah, that was possibly the first. But the first one I remember was Genuine on Big Brother.
Oh wow, okay. Hey, you about to hit me to some game. I didn't even realize this happened.
I want to say this was like 2015, 16, 17-ish.
Okay.
He had went on I want to say it was like Big Brother UK or something like that. And I know I'm going to get this wrong because I always do, and I mean no disrespect at all, but when a guy is transitioning into a female, he's considered a trans woman.
Yes.
Okay. So there was a trans woman on the show, and I guess they were talking about relationships or whatever. And the question was asked to Genuine, either would you kiss or date this particular person? And I thought he answered it really well.
Yeah.
I thought his answer was, no, I prefer not to because obvious reasons.
I'm a heterosexual man that likes actual women.
Male, and the world came for him.
See?
Because of his opinion.
Right. See?
This is my preference. No harm. I don't mean no offense. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but let me have my preference.
Yeah.
And in cancel culture, depending on what you're talking about, you're not allowed to have a preference.
That is true. That is true. And see, and you know what? And I'm glad you brought that up because see, that's stuff like that. Because he ain't the only person that happened to. That's when we start blurring the lines of what can get you canceled and what is cancel culture, right? Because what you're describing to me, that's not a Kramer situation to me. As I got more names written down here, that's not a Dog the Bounty Hunter thing.
No,
You know, that's not a Paula Dean thing.
no.
You know, where like she was like, yeah, like I got niggers working for me and cooking for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't. It's like, yo, like, hey, what was so messed up about the Paula Dean thing? I think right before or right after that, I can't remember which one. I was at the casino in Joliet, spending my birthday weekend there, and that was the restaurant in there.
Damn.
So it had to be before. Hey, matter of fact, I know it was before, but the food slapped though. Good as hell. The Paula Dean restaurant at the damn casino, at the Harris Casino in Joliet. I think it's the Harris. I think it's a Harris. But it was fire. And then I was like, see, now they're about to close this.
See, I bet it was fire. She got all these niggas working for her.
Right. Hey, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, she knew what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. You know what I mean? But I look at that and I see, and you know, people were trying to blur the lines versus of accepting everybody versus I am accepting you, but here is my boundary to accepting you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's unfortunate that that would happen because the flip side is look what happened to Chingy.
Yes.
You know, Chingy was like, look, I'm taking pictures with a fan. I didn't know that she was a man before. And as a result, to get popping, Sydney Starr lied on Chingy and said that they had a relationship, whatever. And then after damage has been done years later, when obviously she don't become as big of a star that she wanted to become because her music didn't work. We didn't want to see her Wendy Williams impression. Love and Hip Hop didn't really take off for her. Then she wanted to say, well, that I lied. We never dated. We never did this, or the third. And it's like, look what you did to what you potentially did to somebody's career because you trying to get on yourself. Like now we live in a world where I think trans people are just as accepted as they can be. I mean, it's hard for me as a black male or just a black American to deal with somebody else's acceptance because I mean, shit, I'm not really accepted everywhere. So, you know what I mean? So for me, off the rip, I think I'm canceled just when people see my face in some places, depending on where I am and who I am. So I can't say that I don't empathize in the way, but at the same time, I know what it's like to keep it fucking moving. Like, hey, well, regardless of what it is, like you got to champion through that. And the thing that also became a prominent topic of just conversation throughout the entire decade, even now though, is just the rise of the LGBTQA plus community and people feeling like they were discriminated against. And now, and discrimination obviously wrong, but I think we did reach a very sensitive area where people would be like, I don't want to date a trans person, or I don't. I'm flattered that this gentleman likes me, but I'm a heterosexual man, so I won't perform at their birthday party. I won't do like, and it's one of those things where it's like, I get that you're upset, but is that a cancelable offense?
Okay, before I answer that, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Being a part of the black delegation and, like I said, being accepted is something that we often don't get.
Right.
If the world pandered to us the way that community has been pandered to,
mm-hmm.
would we as the black delegation overdo acceptance the way that that's being done? Because we have reached a point in society to where regular, understood, common sense things were being completely taken off the chart to appease a small demographic of people.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's like we gave them an inch, they took a foot, and then we gave them a mile.
Mm. Mm.
So it's like, if you're just going to keep adding on to what I'm asking for, I may as well take the fuck off with it.
Right.
And that's what they did.
Yeah.
But why not? If I only ask for a inch, then you gave me a foot. Then I asked for 2 feet, and you gave me 3. So if I ask for 4, you're gonna give me 5? Oh shit, they did.
Mm.
So why not keep asking for more, because you're going to get it?
Yeah.
But as black people, do you think we would have went about it that way?
I think we would have tried, but we fall short. And so many things popped in my mind once you said that. The first thing I want to say is I remember a Wanda Sykes stand-up set where she was like, nobody would choose to be black and gay and a woman.
I remember that.
And I was like, yeah, it was so funny. I was like, yo, that's brilliant comedy to me. But she was breaking down, I think, how she was coming out to her parents, I believe it was. And then because she's from the being gay is a choice era or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, nobody would pick to be black, gay, and a woman. Like, nobody would pick those 3. She's like, not in America. I was like, oh, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. But speaking to that, right? LGBTQA plus encompasses way more people than our delegation, because you can be a white lesbian, you could be a Latino gay, you could be a transgender Asian. And so now, because I don't know what you're into sexually until you tell me.
Right.
I can make assumptions about your dress, about your demeanor, but that's stereotyping. That's what being black in America is about. That's what being Mexican in America is about. So, we can always throw out those assumptions and stereotypes, but I never really know what you're into until you tell me or you vocalize it. So to discriminate with somebody after you have that information is absolutely wrong. Where they win at, as far as getting their voices heard and causing for creation of change, is because, oddly enough, they unify so many different people from walks of life. Because a person of Jewish faith can be gay. A black person can be bisexual. A Mexican person can be transgender. So when you have all of these like minds coming through for one cause, they're going to get their way, and they're going to get a little bit extra on top, because meanwhile, black people, real life situation here, black people got outraged by Gucci, said we were going to boycott, and then Floyd Mayweather got on the camera and said, I do what the fuck I want to do, and I'm about to go into Gucci. So it's like, we don't even take a stand against clothing stores together.
I don't want to use the Gucci one, because for me, the Gucci boycott was bullshit from jump.
True.
When Tip got on camera and said, "We not buying Gucci for X amount of months."
Facts. It's like, why not forever?
So it's like, Okay, so you don't want to buy Gucci now because you already got the spring line, nigga. The summer line ain't dropped yet.
Yeah.
But in 3 months it will, and we gonna be done boycotting.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I went on a spree of just asking, because when all of that shit was happening, we're boycotting this, we're boycotting Gucci, we're boycotting H&M, we're boycotting, I think it was like a lotion brand or some shit.
Yeah.
I just started asking people, hey, we still boycotting these people? Because H&M got a pair of pants, for the 20, and I think I want to buy them.
Right. Hey, $20 jeans now.
Colin Kaepernick happened, and we're boycotting the NFL.
Yeah.
Until the Super Bowl came around.
Yeah.
And the same people that said fuck the NFL are throwing Super Bowl parties.
The loudest ones. The loudest ones. Hey, I'm so glad you brought that up, because even for me, right, I was super conflicted. Part of the reason why I fell off from watching football and kind of not knowing what was going on, one, because the Bears have been trash, right? But two, because I really felt like offended by the Colin Kaepernick situation. And for me, it was because of the arrogance of white people and Trump supporters specifically, that were like, he's disrespecting the military, he's disrespecting the flag. I was like, okay, so you don't care about nothing that's happening. And it didn't matter what information was given out. It didn't matter what new facts were presented. They were just like, basically, but that nigger needs to stand, and the rest of you niggers need to stand also. And so for me, that spoke to, okay, yeah, hey, we don't matter here. This is not a game for us. It's definitely a game by us, and we better get in line, or else we'll never like see this again, because and I mean that in the extreme fatal nature. So for me, it was I literally did go 2 or 3 years without watching football, and I didn't go to any Super Bowl parties. Now that definitely changed once I moved to Nashville, because I know some cool white people. They always open their home to me and my wife, so it is what it is. But and even then we're barely watching it. But even with that, we spend more time talking music and randomly watching the game. But I was always taken aback by that. It's just like, man, it's like, wow, we don't really got to say so in this. They're gonna do what they want to do, how they want to do it, and we got to sit there and eat that.
No, there wasn't a say so. It's just that nobody wanted to do what could have and should have been done to prove the point.
Well, which was,
you want us to stand? What if we just don't come at all?
True.
Now, the NFL, and I know this number is not accurate, but the NFL makes up 70 to 80% African Americans.
Yeah.
If you don't show up, there's no game.
True.
How I know you said you don't watch a lot of football, but there's not a lot of predominant white running backs.
Right.
There's not a lot of predominant white receivers. There's not a lot of predominant tight ends. A lot of white quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But who you gonna get a fucking ball to?
Right. Yeah.
Now you make the NFL work for you. But everybody's so worried about the bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck the cause. But what about my bag?
Yeah.
This cause ain't more important than my personal bag.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm dead with you. And as I really sat there and thought about it, I'm like, man, we as a delegation, unfortunately, will never be on a united front about these things. And I say that because we have all historically lived with a little bit of survival mode in us. And we just live to get through the day, get through the year, get through life, right? So how do you, on one hand, keep a young kid out the streets, right? Keep them away from drugs and hopefully teenage pregnancy or just gang activity. You tell them, man, pick up that ball, stay focused on the sports, stay focused on the music, stay focused on the area, get out the street, right? We tell them that. And then let's say they do it. Let's go perfect best case scenario. They listen to us. They stay out the street. They don't succumb to their environment. They make it to the NFL, or they make it to the NBA, MLB. And then since we're on the NFL, we get to the NFL, you get drafted in 2016, the shit with Colin Kaepernick happens. Now what? So now we are in this conundrum because again, I'm with you because the cause should be greater and we should be able to sacrifice just that one time or that one moment in time and an effort for the greater good later. But now we run the risk of, well, I got to get the rest of my family out the hood. I have to provide now. The generational wealth starts with me. Now, I know and I hear y'all. I hear y'all in my ear, even though this episode is playing right now. But these niggas be buying Gucci and strippers. They be paying to fuck the OnlyFans girls and flying them out. You right. You right. But mama got a house in the process. Daddy got the car wash or was able to retire. Your cousin got the car wash. Your daddy got to retire, and now your brother think he can play ball too now. You know, so I get it. A lot of things happen at one time, but unfortunately, you know, Black people, athletes, entertainers, whatever, we're all in that, man. I would love to do that, but the plan B for me is poverty. And that's why I was just like, man, I'll just stop watching because I don't know if I can tell the rookie cornerback that's about to get 3 to 5 mil why he shouldn't play because of what Colin Kaepernick did. I just, you know, I get it. And I want to be on the right side of history always, but it is difficult to get that off.
I'm just one of those people. If you're not doing something to change, shut the fuck up.
There you go.
And I wholeheartedly believe that. Like, if you're not doing something to change the spectrum of what's going on, or conversing about it, or you complaining ain't gonna do shit.
Right. Facts, though.
Me complaining to you about my job is going to do what?
Hey,
my fucking job don't even know you. You don't know nobody at my job other than me. What is Camp from the Port going to do? Because I have a gripe with my job.
You know what I mean?
I need to take this issue up with my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I'm just gonna complain to you with the biggest shit-eating grin on your face, politely tell me to shut the fuck up.
Hey, you know what? And to your point, though, had the mass text just went out to the Black Players Association one Sunday, it might have changed some things. Maybe even 2 or 3 weeks. You know, it might have changed some things. However, though, we also live in the next man up system. Whereas, yeah, I think the NFL and the game of chicken would be willing to lose all their star players in an effort to pay the next wave of college kids less and potentially make the same amount of money, if not more. And again, nasty work, nasty conundrum. And that and it is situations like this that had me debating cancel culture and its impact and its severity. Because two more names as we transition, two more names I want to bring up are Chrisette Michele and Chris Brown. Because Chris Brown, now that I really, really think about it, Chris Brown might be the actual first person to get canceled.
They still want that nigga out of here.
Right. So glad you said it just like that. Because here we are, Grammy night 2009. Or yeah, was that 2009 or 2010? Don't matter. The point is, you see, it's at least 15 years ago. The infamous photo goes out. Rihanna's battered face. Chris Brown becomes public enemy number one across the globe. And for years, literally decades, there was a lot of poking the bear and never letting Chris Brown forget what he did. Now, as a semi-industry insider who talked to a lot of the record reps who had both of them on their labels and seen their interactions, I was given a very justifiable reason of why all that happened and why it got released the way it did. But we're not going to talk about that. Salute to all my connects, never snitching. But what I will say is this. No matter how positive the PR got for Chris Brown, he could not escape what he had done. Because even after the infamous Good Morning America thing where they said he threw a chair like at a window or something like that, and people were telling him that Graffiti was a whack album, and he's reacting as a teenager to people telling me, hey, yo, your shit trash. And he's not allowed to get mad at that. And then, of course, you have the infamous interview with Rihanna, who really kind of this shouldn't have happened to me. This never should have happened to me at all, right? And she leaned into the victim thing. And then, but I think a year or two later, they resurface. They piece it up. It's all good. They were even on a jet ski together or something where I could see do or
they
something.
A song together.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They did the work. So even when it seemed that Rihanna had forgiven and they had patched it up, it was still up for Chris Brown. And no matter how many hits he put out, it didn't matter that Michael Jackson was supposed to take him on tour. He was supposed to open up for Michael Jackson on the This Is It tour. But Michael Jackson unfortunately passes in 2009. None of that mattered. It was all about what he did. But I say this, and I say this super respectfully. Did Chris Brown really get canceled?
No.
Because here we are, present day 2025, and he's won Grammys.
The reason why I'm going to say no, because it did not slow his progress down. He's still the superstar he was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, people get mad at me when I say this, but I've never been an advocate for domestic violence.
For sure.
And I never will be.
For sure.
I do feel like everybody should keep their hands to themselves. Fact. But I also do feel like if a woman puts her hands on a man and he reacts, keep your hands to yourself. You keep your hands to yourself, you won't get those type of reactions. In some cases, some dudes just be on bullshit.
Yeah, no, for sure. Facts.
But when I read that she had bite marks, that told me a lot.
Yeah,
That
hey,
told me for a man to have to bite a woman, he was on the defensive.
mm-hmm.
You're
Yep.
not going to bite a person that you're winning against. That's a defensive move.
Yeah. Yep.
But nobody wants to think about that part. I'm not saying that what he did was okay. I'm
Right.
not justifying it. Domestic violence is something that I do not I don't joke about it because it's
Mm-hmm.
not funny.
Facts.
But this young lady had bite marks on her arms. He was trying to get away.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't read into that and they only listen to what's being said. Like it took that man years to finally tell the world his side.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much he really wanted that shit to go away.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go away. Look, we pieced it up. Damn, that's not good enough either.
No.
But the attempt to cancel Chris Brown was a failure. I'll say that.
I agree. I agree. And as we look back, right? Because again, hey, look, I'll still stand by it. Being black in America means to be born canceled to a degree. I think that the only thing that truly Chris Brown missed out on was clearly being the biggest artist in the world over Drake. I think that's the only thing he missed out on. I think if Chris Brown was truly like had that situation never happened, I think that we are talking about the Chris Brown run like we're talking about the Drake run because Chris Brown also raps and sings, and he's a better singer. And he was already had pop hits. Like he was already rolling for 4 or 5 years before Drake popped up. So in my mind, because this is the 20-year anniversary of Who is Chris Brown, the album. I think it came out in 2005. So for me, you can't tell me that that album and a couple other albums aren't diamond or better by now just because he gets to tour the world in the way that he truly was meant to. He'd have been way bigger than Justin Bieber. He'd have been way bigger than he'd have been on Gaga's level, if not higher. Bruno Mars, like there's so many things that they probably would have happened, but it would have been undisputed that Chris Brown is the biggest star of this generation. And I think that's the only thing he missed out on. However, he's still the most talented human being I feel that we have seen in our lives. He's still a superstar. Here we are, present day, and he's back to winning Grammys again, which is great, right? It's important because that the Grammys are important because it does help your retainer fee. It does help your placement fee, and and it's always on the positive. The cost, the value of your career is make or break one night a year.
Yeah.
You can add an extra comma, you can add a couple more zeros when you achieve certain accolades, specifically through the Grammys. So I also look at it like the end of the day, the black delegation held Chris Brown down, you
We
know,
did.
and and that's not to say that there are no white fans, especially white women that love black guys. They love Chris Brown also. They love him and Kevin Gates. I never understood that, but you know,
I don't even like Kevin Gates.
yeah. but I will say that Chris Brown is a true testament that like when you got it, you got it, and you can't get rid of it. So you're going to all you gotta do is weather the storm, and people will respond to you. I don't think Chrisette Michelle got canceled. I just think that she was already not moving a lot of units and making a big impact music wise anyway. And we just felt the need to pushed the girl down that just dropped her books in the hallway.
I'm not going to say that she didn't get canceled. Yes, she wasn't moving units. She wasn't Erica Badu, a Jill Scott, a India Ari. Nowhere close.
Nope.
But it's like she chose to fall off the earth after that happened. Yeah, we complained. The delegation complained. But me personally, I'm thinking like this. I know you ain't moving units like that. That $1 million was a bag.
For sure.
And
$1 million is $1 million.
$1 million is $1 million. But then everybody, but it's the cause. You would have done it too.
Yeah.
You would have did it too. Especially when it's one of those situations. If you hadn't looked up Chrisette Michelle's net worth, and I know that net worth thing is usually way off, but I guarantee her net worth was probably like $500,000.
Or
it might have even been lower.
Yeah.
Because why? A lot of y'all don't know Chrisette Michelle outside of her first single and Aston Martin music.
There you go. And see, and that was, and then that was my beef with black people. To be honest with you, I still ride with Chrisette Michelle on this because she said something that was so real. The problem that Chrisette Michelle made is a problem that a lot of people make. Shoot, hey, look, it's the problem that Drake made during this Kendrick thing. You wasting time explaining yourself. I don't have to explain to y'all why I did whatever I did. Questlove tried to come for her about how he could have just gave her the money. She was like, well, hey, why? I don't see you booking me for no studio session. You didn't produce my last album. I'm not on tour with The Roots. You could have been did all of that. If you were doing all of that for me, because I'm so talented, so this, that, or whatever, we wouldn't even be here. And I was like, that's right. Because yeah, she told zero lies. I don't recall her ever going viral ever, not even during the Aston Martin music. I don't remember it. So the fact that she took that opportunity to make some money and do what she loves, which is sing, and then we want to counteract it with that. No, I'm sorry. Hey, listen. Because the thing is, he the president regardless. You know, you still have to know what's going on out here in this world regardless. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, we have to accept what somebody else does, but I do believe that she was really right in her stance. And it was just like, look, y'all not buying my music. I don't have any shows. Like, what do you want me to do? And high key or low key, however we want to frame it, I want to say maybe, just maybe, her doing that show probably got her some other shows that we're not even privy to. Because if Ryan Leslie is talking about he be going to Dubai and India and all these other places and doing shows for princes and kings and queens and getting bags in the 7-figure and up range, I would assume that the Chrisette Michelle is doing that kind of thing under the radar too, after performing for the president.
That's one thing about the black delegation I don't like. We pick and choose.
For sure.
Because I'm one of those people that when I see us pick and choose, I call us out on it. Oh, so y'all gonna have that same type of energy?
Right.
Why is it that this person can do it, but this person can't do it? Y'all beat this person up for doing it. Why y'all ain't saying nothing to him?
Right. Yeah, hey. Listen.
Cause I might be jumping, but my beef with Snoop Dogg doing what he did is the way he talked shit back in 2016 And then you double back 10 years later or 8 years later, and so how you talk about somebody else Bojangling? You tap dancing right now.
Yeah. So I'm glad. That's actually a perfect segue because Snoop was on my mind as I was talking about Chrisette Michele. And we've already covered a lot of the questions, right? So let's expand the conversation and get into complaint culture and the other side of cancel culture, right? Because I did see people complaining about Snoop, and I ain't gonna lie, I was indifferent on the matter, even when I saw what I remember Snoop saying before. And I ain't gonna lie, immediately I thought to shoot Snoop bail, but hey, in my defense, I also shot Chrisette Michele some bail. Off the rip, I was like, this might be the biggest show she do this year, though. Who am I to tell her not to take it? That was my thing. So my thing is, my thing on Snoop was, yeah, you was popping off, but this also really ain't the inauguration. Yes, was Trump in the building? Yup. The crypto ball was a thing, and he was there to learn about the new Trump coin. But you know, my deal with Snoop is because I'm pretty well versed in his portfolio. I'm like, he kind of gotta be there because he's one of the more prominent names in the crypto space, especially if we're talking about Black people. Now, that don't mean that he's above reproach and he's above being held to his words, but I don't know, because the flip side is, even though he said that, I don't think Snoop was ever like, and I'll never do business with him either.
You can't have one and not the other.
Okay, fair.
Like I can't. You can't have one and not. You can't beat me up for doing it, and then you turn around and do it.
Well, but see, the thing is, again, hey, and I got to play semantics on purpose. He didn't do what she did.
Going to Crypto Ball to talk and mingle and get an understanding is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, you DJ.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen.
Like if you're there for business purposes, you're DJing. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, did you just decide to go to the DJ booth because you're Snoop Dogg? Or did they ask you to come to Crypto Ball to DJ?
Hey.
Because a performance is a performance.
True. Facts.
DJing is a performance. Like,
yeah, no. Hey, listen, you're right.
Like, you can't beat me up for doing it. They're like when we was kids. Shout out to my best friend Mac. His birthday was on the 16th.
Hey.
We used to talk about this local guy. I'm not gonna say his name. But every time this guy saw us, he always made sure to tell us, stay no to drugs. And then we got older and found out he was a crackhead.
Dang.
It's like, hey, you know what? Thanks for the message. But nigga, practice what you preach.
Yeah, hey. Hey, you know what? You're right. You're right. Because that is important. Practice what you preach. No matter what, you should be able to stand on business. But see, here is the human nature of all of us. we have the right to change our minds. And no matter how nastily, no matter how egregiously, no matter how 10 toes, hangnails in the dirt, we want to stand on something. Literally 3 months, 6 months, 8 years can go by and we can decide to change our minds, and it's supposed to be okay. Because look, because I'm with you. I am with you. Too many times in our life, we have watched people say one thing and do another. The only people that we have known to stand in disdain for one person or one circumstance or one instance that have never let go are 50 Cent, Ja Rule, and Irv Gotti. That is it. Everybody else has made amends, has decided to do business, has decided that it ain't worth all that. They like everybody has switched up or have grown up. And that is just where we sit. And as much as we want to say, oh, I'm standing on business, or no, it's up forever, 99% of us don't really feel that way. They don't. Wang, personal story that I won't even give much detail on. There are some people that swore it was fuck me, and now they follow me on Instagram or TikTok. And I don't follow back because I thought it was up forever with me. I thought it was fuck me. Well, until I hear you say that it ain't, it's fuck you. That's exactly how I feel. Hey, let's have a conversation. Don't just pop up. We're not cool. Kiss my ass. So Snoop is literally gonna be literally Snoop can be like, man, why y'all bringing up old shit? Snoop can be like, oh man, y'all still living in the past. I'm like, hey, well, you still performing doggy style. But you need to let that hate out your heart go. Hey, what did he say while he was smoking? He was like, yo, just stop worrying about me. Get y'all some money. It's like, learn how to forgive. I'm like, what? But see, that's the world we live in.
I'm gonna grant Snoop some bail too. Maybe he got in contact with Chris and Michelle. They had a personal conversation. He personally apologized to her because everybody knew who he was shooting those slugs at in 2016.
Right.
Okay, so do we grant Nelly the same bail?
Hey, listen, I'm willing to, and
I'm not. I'm not. Because see, Nelly is acting blind to the fact in order to get the bag. Fuck.
I got you. So, Nelly, all right. So you said you don't want to shoot Nelly no bail.
No.
Okay. I get. See, the easy question to ask you is why, right? But what I want to say is this: Nelly, historically, has never made his money by performing for Black people. I know he from St. Louis. I know that, Country Grammar and EI and all these joints, they was, quote, for us. But at the end of the day, I always want to believe, and I don't even think I'm wrong for believing that at least 55% of the purchasing power of Nelly's career has been white or other. The two biggest Nelly fans I knew when he first dropped was an Asian kid and a white kid.
I won't dispute that at all, but it's not. Just say that you're going to, I'm getting this back. Don't make up excuses. Like Snoop said. Like Snoop didn't say, well, I know what I said last year, even though I'm still mad at Ump. I know what I said 8 years ago, but like, I had a change of heart.
Mm-hmm.
For that man to get on that, to get up there and say that he don't live in a Klan's America, and shut the fuck up. Shut up. Like, when I heard him say that, it's like, okay, you're trying to justify going to get the bag with bullshit.
Yeah.
Just say you're going to get the fucking bag.
But see, that's why I just prefer no explanation. Nelly, much like Snoop Dogg, don't owe me anything. What they both did was give the people, the option and the right to complain. And see,
okay.
What's
Snoop
up?
Dogg had to say what he said back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't feel away.
Okay.
Because I didn't feel away about Chrisette Michele going to get the bag.
Okay.
If Snoop wouldn't have said what he said in 2016, I wouldn't have felt away about 2024. If Nelly wasn't trying to justify 2024, I wouldn't have gave a fuck. But now you're just saying bullshit.
but see, how can I say this? Because I also don't believe Nelly is broke, right? I don't believe that Nelly is. I don't think Nelly truly had to be there. Dare I say, and this is just me reacting to the way I saw him speaking on Willie D's live. I'm only going to go off of that. I'm going to say that Nelly truly is a person that is like, I am going to go where I'm celebrated and not where I'm tolerated. And I mean that at every level possible. Because here's my deal. He seemed more upset that the Obama administration never invited him to perform. And the Biden administration didn't allow him to perform than he did about anything else. Like the fact that I could tell that he started Googling before he got on live with Willie D. And this is why. Because he had all of his facts ready about what Biden and Harris never did for himself or black people. He knew it. Like he was just rattling off those things. But seeing all of that, I was like, okay, but even the surface level internet conspiracy theories got that information, right? But when my man's was like, hey, the Obama administration never invited me to perform. It's like, oh, you was touring with Florida Georgia Line when that was happening. Damn. So for me, dog, I ain't even gonna cap to you. The reason why I'm gonna shoot Nelly some bail is because Nelly just didn't really want to say, in my eyes, Nelly didn't want to say, man, hey, this is my fan base. This is who support me. This is how my records are double, triple platinum. This is why my albums are diamond. Like, if I abandon them, I ain't got nobody. You said what?
I personally feel like that's exactly what he should have said, because that was the truth.
Hey, fair.
Don't sell me bullshit and expect me to buy it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, when Nelly first dropped, his sound was different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what a lot of people gravitated to. Like, his sound was different. Like, I don't think anybody ever like really said, oh, Nelly is the greatest lyricist, or he made fun music that you could party to.
For sure.
Cool. Nelly, you haven't been on anybody's radar in over 20 years. Musically. Unless it was a feature. Correct me if I'm wrong. The last song that I remember black people really banging that was from Nelly was Grills.
Now that you may be right. You may be right on that one. He's had other hit records since then, but you may be right on specifically the black people bumping the last Nelly song.
Like the last Nelly song that I can remember the black delegation playing, like this shit was a hit, was Grills.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, listen, I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that at all. And to be fair, that's why he's talking like that.
But whose fault is that though? Because and respect it. You started putting out music towards the delegation that's paying the bills. I have no problem with that. Feed your core fans.
Mm-hmm.
Because as his career went on, we stopped being his core demographic. And that's okay. Well, we don't gotta like what you're putting out. We're not obligated to like what you're putting out, just like you're not obligated to make music for us.
Mm-hmm.
Say that.
Well, but the difficult part about that, Wang, is that Nelly would literally sit here and tell you to your face, I do make black music. I do make music for black people. Y'all just don't buy it. Like, Just a Dream was for us. Like, it was.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen. Just a Dream was for us because it's Nelly and he put out the record and he was always introduced to us as a melodic rap singer that is black from St. Louis. That's what he's always been. Now, do we gravitate towards the song? No. But, however, we gravitated towards AO Technology. We gravitated to all the Drake so far gone. Like all the shit that people are talking about they hate now made Drake a household name. Cash Out by Cash Out literally sounds like a Nelly song. When he hopped in the remix, I was like, oh, yeah, this literally is Nelly flow. Like, this is Nelly's whole style. So he would literally be like, yeah, I do shit for y'all, but we don't buy it. Ludacris did the same thing, I think, in Vegas a few years back. He was like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Without my white fans, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because he was like, yo, he did something like, yo, how many of y'all been down for, like since the first album, who my niggas or whatever? I don't know. But he was like, yo, where my white people at? They started hollering. They was going crazy for Nelly. It's Ludacris. And he was like, hey, he's like, without y'all, I don't know where my career would be. I'm like, hey, and he's right, because there was more complaining about how Ludacris wasn't street enough when he was selling 3 million records a pop. So
I never heard no Ludacris slander though. I've never heard a Luda slander.
Oh, well, here. This is what release therapy has been about. So look, much along the lines again, complain culture, right? Hey, listen, I was one of the biggest Nelly complainers back in the day because I was like, dog, y'all really want to hear this shit? Y'all really want to hear him quote Speedy Gonzalez? Do you really want to do this? You know what I'm saying? I was I was saying these kind of things. I won't lie to you. I can't lie. I gotta keep it a buck as we're talking about cancel culture being out and complain culture being in, right? And I was like, you really gonna let him quote Speedy Gonzalez and Biggie in the same song, and we're gonna let him get away with this. And then he was drop down to get your eagle on, which I ain't gonna lie, when Pharrell killed that beat. Love that track.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And it really took even though you're picking a losing horse, but when it was Nelly versus KRS-One, because I wasn't the biggest KRS fan either, but I was like, maybe he'll beat him up lyrically, and this will get back to it. And sure enough, he did. But Nellyville went diamond, so it don't even matter what he said. He had this. He said, "Nobody's album on June 25th." It was like, hey, well, you and all your hip hopper boppers, y'all don't have to buy it because everybody else did, so it don't matter, right? But again, how we celebrate us, right? I'm not gonna say that people don't love Ludacris. I don't want to say that. However, I remember specifically between word of mouth and chicken and beer, there was this narrative of like, oh, Ludacris is comical. He's animated. It's almost like he got the same critiques as Buster Rhymes did. And it resulted in people not really taking him seriously. And even because so that's why even on the red light district, outside of the couple videos, by 2006 he abandoned all of that. He did Release Therapy. Release Therapy is also the album that I think he won a Grammy for too, which is wild enough. By far not his best album. The Release Therapy is probably at the bottom of Ludacris's catalog, for me personally, because he's dropped some fire after that. But through the first 4 album stretch, so through Back for the First Time to Red Light District, peak, hottest, greatest, probably Ludacris that you'll get depending on what you want to hear. The knock was, well, he's comical. He always playing around. He's not animated. He's not from the streets. He ain't talking about selling drugs and all this. Like, again, nigger culture. Like, he didn't embrace total destructive behavior and culture, and for that he got a knock to it. But at the same time, that same alternative is what made white people gravitate to it. Oh shit, this is fun. He's really rapping. Hey, listen, I bought Back for the First Time, the first Ludacris album, not Incognito, but that first album on Def Jam, because a white boy told me to buy it. John Williams, I'll never forget. And he threw me off because he used the N-word when he was quoting Ludacris. So I was taken aback by it. But he was like, yo, he's so fucking dope, though. You gotta listen to him. He was like, Cam, I really think you'll fuck with Ludacris album. I wasn't the biggest fan of What's Your Fantasy. And he was like, but the album don't sound like that. He was like, it's more like fire on there. And then he was quoting the freestyle when Ludacris said, I make niggas eat dirt and fart dust. And he was like, yo, that line is so cool. And I was like, well, you just said nigga in front of me. But I bought the album and he wasn't wrong. He was not wrong. And then even with that, until I started playing it for my other black friends, they didn't know. They were not hip to it. So, and some of them still didn't fucking buy it. So, and for some black people, the only Ludacris album they got is Word of Mouth.
Like, I was introduced to Luda before Back for the First Time even dropped with Fat Rabbit.
Yeah, on the Timberland joint.
On the Timberland joint. And I was just like, I don't know. That was back when I really was I guess that's kind of how I became a Tech 9 fan, because I really had a love for like the double time rap.
Okay.
Because everybody couldn't do it. And if you could do it and I could understand you, that was even more of a perk. And then if you can do it and I can understand you and I can do it with you, at the age of 13, 14 years old, oh, you was really winning. So I'm waiting for this Ludacris guy to come out.
Okay.
And I was a fan of Ludacris all the way up until he decided, okay, I want to be an actor. And even when he drops freestyles, I gotta listen to that shit. That's why I was like, damn, it was actually Luda slander. Like, I was blind to all of that shit.
Yeah, hey, no, and good, because it wasn't necessary. But you know, as we look at whether it's Nelly present day or back in the day or Ludacris now, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Complaint culture. Complaint culture is in. And those are probably the early inceptions of, at least the ones that I realized as we were coming of age, you know, because there is nothing wrong with creating music to have fun and to creating the alternative to just all the violence and all the tough talk and things. And the thing is like, if you really listen to Luda albums, he wasn't pussy. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was just like, I guess because he didn't sell drugs too, or it wasn't a theme, that's what made it that way. But even as we look forward to the day, right? Trump back in office. Rage bait is high. Who are the biggest rage baiters right now? Kanye West, big rage baiter. And I mean, shoot, Trump in a way, huge rage baiter. And then, you know, the byproduct of rage bait to me is complaint culture. Because now it don't matter. Everybody will take a moment to complain about whatever it is. Hey, look, Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl, the sheer announcement that Kendrick Lamar was going to be on there. What was the immediate complaint?
Why ain't Wayne doing it?
Right. First time ever that we've even had a rebuttal about who else should do it. Like even back when it was Dr. Dre and friends, right? And it happened to be in LA, which is awesome. That's a great perfect storm. But correct me if I'm wrong, I never heard of somebody being like, oh man, I mean, that's cool, but shouldn't Jay-Z do it? Shouldn't somebody else do it? Shouldn't Ice Cube do it? Right? Because hey, when Rihanna did it, didn't hear nothing. Didn't hear nothing. I forgot who was immediately after that, but the bottom line is I didn't know. It wasn't until 2024 when it was announced that, oh, The Weeknd. Didn't hear nothing when The Weeknd performed. Nobody said anything. It was, oh, The Weeknd's gonna perform. Oh, beautiful. Right? But now that we pick somebody ahead of time and it's announced, and not even Taylor Swift's name was brought up. It was just, oh, because it's in New Orleans, it should be Lil Wayne. We get to the show. You want to ask me? The show was phenomenal. Halftime show, phenomenal. It's 3 watches. Dare I say it's in my 5. But I don't have some of the people that y'all have in y'all 5 in my 5. So there's that, right? But even with that, oh, I didn't understand the word he was saying. Oh, I didn't get it. What were all these messages? It's like, why don't you just enjoy the show? Because did you understand why Rihanna was on all those things in the sky, like those cranes in the sky? Did you really understand that? No, you didn't. You just wanted to hear Pour It Up. That's all you wanted to do. Like, just listen to fucking music. I don't know why The Weeknd chose the escape room for part of his halftime performance. Don't know why he did it. Didn't matter. I wanted to hear Blinding Lights. That's what I wanted to hear. And when he got to it, I was like, oh, okay. That's my Weeknd song. It's cool. But, you know, you'll never escape it. The Grammys, complaints about the Grammys. Even though I will say this is the first year that Beyonce and Kendrick going at the same time. Complaints was down. But still, it was, oh, I can't believe it. This track won Song of the Year. I can't believe Cowboy Carter won Album of the Year. Oh my God. This isn't supposed to happen. It's Complain. All-Star weekend just passed, right? Just happened this month. Man, dunk contest is trash. 3-point contest, trash. Skill challenge is trash. I don't know what they're doing with the game. It's trash. Trash. And the election goes. Oh man. Well, who I want to win didn't win. I can't believe y'all voted for Trump. Oh, don't look at me. I didn't vote for him. Oh, hey, when the world goes to hell, hey, this is your fault because you voted for Trump. Hell. Complain. Let's take it off national events. Let's take it off government. Let's take it off politics. Let's take it off these branded social events to attend or be a part of. Let's get just real. Let's go viral. Let's go to this viral sensation. Let's go to pop the balloon. Pop the balloon, the epitome of complaint culture right now to me, right? Because here now, Wang, here now, we put 7 people in the room, 7 people in the room, give them balloons, and you get to just walk and talk and then hear what everybody's problem is with you. Oh, and there's way too many men who are claiming to be heterosexual that's not picking women because they don't like their outfit. If you want my personal opinion, if you're a man and you are not wanting to date a woman because of her outfit, then you're part of the rainbow community. That's what I'm going to say to you. I've never met a woman like, man, her outfit's so whack, I don't even want to date her. I might have been like, her outfit, she's going to take it off anyway, so it don't really matter to me. Like, that's literally like, I'm trying to get her out of it. It don't even matter. I want to see her naked. I want to touch her body. I want to do things that don't involve the outfit. There we go. So that, and to me, and for me, Wang, and I want your thoughts on this. For me, all of that, but even just the epitome of just what Pop the Balloon represents, right? The fact that literally you could be in the middle of giving your life story or just your elevator pitch, and people get to decide what they don't like about you, and now they can tell you about it, versus really wanting to see if this is all you have to show for not only yourself but for life, and to see if you can really build something worth a damn in the future.
It's a brilliant concept because the conversation we had prior to even turning the cameras on, the world loves instant gratification.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to wait to see the outcome. I even personally have that problem when it comes to TV shows. If a TV show drops and I'm going to get hit with that show, an episode a week, I will literally let it finish before I start watching it once so I can watch it all at once because I don't want to wait.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to this show, literally, guy walks out, every woman pops their balloon. I don't like his shoes. His pants are too tight. It's his haircut. He has on glasses. He's not 6'2". He's not 5'11". He's not 5'3". I just walked out. You don't know anything about me. You don't know what my voice sounds like. You don't know if I got kids, if I have ambition. Am I worth 500,000 or 5 million a year? You literally looked at me and said, he got on a turtleneck.
Yeah.
What the fact that I have a Fortune 500 business that I still haven't even got a chance to even tell your gold digging ass about.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the like you said, dudes. I popped my balloon because I didn't like her shoes.
Yeah. Wild. Nasty work.
I have never, in my 41 years of being on this earth, saw a dude see a girl at a party, club, event, whatever, see her, find her pretty, work his way down, find her physical features attractive, and then stop because her shoes didn't match her outfit.
Never in life.
Fuck out of here.
Never in life.
Like, that has never happened. Hold on. This is my daughter.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's all good. This should be interesting.
I'm pod right now, boo. What's up?
Over later to get it.
Okay, I'll still be here. I'm pretty sure you did.
I did. Oh yeah, curly hairdresser at Freeport.
Okay.
Yeah, it's happening downtown.
Where at downtown?
It's actually Jackson on the front. It's right next to the cookie jar.
Okay, I know the area. I just don't know the person.
Yeah, I was looking at some reviews from her, and she cuts curly hair, and it looks so nice. She even does lock retwists. Who does that?
K-Cat, but that's for another time. But I'm fine right now. Just swing by. The door be open.
Bye,
Bye, boo. If I let her go, she will.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely. It's only right. It's only right. But
yeah, like that. And another thing I don't like about the show. Nothing I don't like about the show. And I categorize it with the same thing with I don't know if you ever saw him, the guy that gets the people on camera and like does things to like sabotage their relationships.
Oh, whoa, wait.
Like he does this thing where like he sees two girls and be like, "Hey, what's your name? Blah blah blah. What's your name? How long y'all been friends? Oh, we've been friends for X amount of years. You know her boyfriend? Yeah, you know her boyfriend? Yeah. I want y'all to swap phones and text each other's boyfriend to see if you can get the boyfriend to come through. And then it's messy.
Wow.
But I don't like this and or the balloon pop thing because why is it only black people? And it's always, and then what I've noticed is it's not like they do, all right, one and gone. They bring some of these people back because of the messiness.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Like, ain't we had enough of that? Don't
short answer.
Enough of that?
No. Short answer is no. No, because hey, look, the two things that have been very prominent this decade, so since 2020, because of the pandemic, that's where it started, the pandemic. People want to complain about what is happening around them with little to no action, or they want to see somebody's life that is potentially a little more jacked up than theirs. And it don't matter what scenario it could be. Listen, we're in the culture right now where we, being middle class or less, find ways to make fun of wealthy people. Think about it. Like, really think about it. That J. Cole had this line. He was like, if you broke and laughing at a millionaire, the joke is on you. And I was like, that's a very profound statement. As I look at Real Housewives of Atlanta or Basketball Wives, or I don't know, I'm probably dating myself with all of these Bad Girls Club, whatever these shows are, or Chrisley Knows Best, because I know he got $1 million. We talk about what?
Ain't he in jail or some shit?
Oh yeah, I think so. But hey, look, let's go to a millionaire I know that we could talk about because everybody talk about him. LeBron James. LeBron James literally is one of like 20 black billionaires on the planet right now. And yet, we want to talk about his hairline. We want to talk about how he be crying about flopping, or how he really the GM for the Lakers. He the reason why AD ain't in Dallas. Like, there's so every single year since LeBron has been 18 years old and been drafted into the NBA, he's been a certified millionaire, multi-millionaire, every single day of his life since he's been 18 years old, and we find something to complain or diss this nigga about in the effort to make our lives feel better. It's uncanny.
Well, I've been an open certified LeBron hater since he was 18 years old. I've never taken away from his ability. I've never said that he was trash. I've never said that he was whack. I just be hating on the nigga.
Hey, but at least you admit it. At least you admit it. There's more people out there who's like, man, no, I mean, it ain't hate. I'm just saying he's just not the best ever. I'm like, okay, I mean, I get that, but what does his hairline have to do with it? What does him switching teams have to do with it? what does him not really having the jumper at the beginning of his career? What does any of that have to do with it? Like, and that's the thing. See, because the thing is, when you're complaining about a LeBron or a Jay-Z, hey, look, Jay-Z, why you ain't pick Wayne? But the flip side is, though, when at first the argument was, Jay-Z, why you doing Roger Goodell? Why you selling out Kaepernick like this? Right? Then it was, oh, he just gonna make sure that him and Beyonce perform all the time at all the football events. Right? So neither one happened. Neither one happened. So now it was a new shit. Man, why you booking Kendrick Lamar and not Lil Wayne if it's in New Orleans? Like, literally, just to have a complaint. I am now just here to just realize and understand, so I can calibrate correctly for the rest of this decade, is that people just want to complain. People don't even want solutions. They want answers. Like, even when you look at comment sections, if you want to do it for entertainment, you'll never hear people really giving out solutions or counter like claims or desires. They're just complaining about what they see or heard.
Okay, let me ask you a question about the Wayne Kendrick Super Bowl thing.
Uh-huh.
Because I feel like it was more of our age range that was saying, can we get Hot Boys? Can we get Wayne? Can we get, No Limit? Because even though people in our age range, people in our age range like Kendrick, I think that would have been a more nostalgic show for us to see them on stage in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at what we got.
Mm-hmm.
I had to watch it like 3-4 times, and do a little deciphering, and because I won't hold you. At first glance, I was very unentertained.
Okay.
So I'm like scrolling social media, and I'm like, and everybody was like, because halftime shows for the most part, it's glitzy, it's glamorous, it's big, it's in your face. There's explosions and glitter and fucking flashing lights and I think that's what I was waiting for.
Okay.
So at first glance, I'm like, thanks, but no thanks. Then, no, did you notice this? But did you notice that? Did you notice? Let me go back and look at it
again. Yeah.
Okay. In my ignorance, and me looking for explosions and The Weeknd in the escape room and Rihanna floating through the sky and Usher doing 47 outfit changes and apologize, Mike Jones. Had to do that.
Yeah.
But I think it was more our age range that was saying, can we get Cash Money? Can we get Wayne? Versus, my nieces and nephews are saying, no, like, we don't listen to them niggas no more. Like, that was shit y'all listened to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, me personally, like, I would have felt the same way if they had said, let's give it to Travis Scott. I don't listen to Travis Scott.
Mm.
But my nieces and nephews love him, and they would have raved about it. Oh, Travis Scott, yeah. So I think it was more or less, like we said a couple episodes ago, we the new old head.
Oh, for sure.
It's time for us to start complaining now.
I'm off that train though. because for me, and I totally get what people are saying, but to me, and this is how I've always seen it, I think the Super Bowl performance should go to either the biggest star in the world currently or one of the greatest legacy acts that's available. I think that's what we should be reserved for.
That's what it used to be when they first started doing live acts. It went to the biggest person at the time,
mm-hmm.
or the biggest legacy act at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the world started when they did Dre and Friends in LA. Everybody was like, okay, this is how it's. How many times has it been in fucking New Orleans and nobody from New Orleans has done it?
Yeah, or been considered to do it too.
Or even been considered. It's been in New Orleans, what, 4 times?
Shoot, I think more than that, honestly. I think probably like 6.
And nobody from New Orleans was ever discussed.
Right.
It's been in New Orleans since Cash Money was even when Young Money was at its peak in the industry. And nobody said, let's get Wayne and Nicki.
Nope.
So maybe the Dre and Friends thing did kind of.
Check it out. We both wrong. As of February 2025, 11 Super Bowls have been played in New Orleans. 11 of them. 11 of them things.
Okay, so that just made it even worse.
Yeah, because 1 or 2 of them, the Saints won too.
That made it even worse. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I would have liked to have seen Cash Money or No Limit as a whole.
Yeah.
But that's the nostalgia in me.
Yeah, see, I never want to see that.
Like, that's the nostalgia in me. That would, for me to see the Hot Boys on the stage one more time, I'm not gonna say one more time, they'll fix whatever they got going on. They always do. But to see them on the Super Bowl stage, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah. Hey. Well,
but I'm not mad at what I got.
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, that's dope. I will always be on the island for that of like, no, thank you. Probably as far as my era goes. Because see, to me, what you're saying earlier, I think Travis Scott is the perfect person to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show right now. I think
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's keep it current.
Yeah. Or even like Lady Gaga. I mean, hey, look, Bruno Mars ended up on there twice. Beyonce ended up on there twice. So to me, it was no question. Now, granted, I did think it was going to be Taylor Swift. To keep it a buck, I thought Taylor Swift was going to do the show. But when they announced it was Kendrick, I was just like, well, he currently is the biggest star in the world. It don't matter if he wasn't the 5 or 10 years prior. It don't matter. The point is that 2020, 2025, there is no artist bigger than Kendrick Lamar right now. So strike while the iron is hot. Because he may not be this hot next year.
Your Kendrick Lamar, Macklemore the Kendrick Lamar Macklemore Grammy conversation was what made me realize this was the route it's going to go. Like, how do you not put the biggest person in music in the world right now on one of the biggest stages? So like I said, when I heard Kendrick, I'm like, I get it. But still, the nostalgia in me would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, hey, for nostalgia, call Missy Elliott.
I definitely would have took that.
I'm not against and see, and this is why I try to make sure that I walk my fine line amongst complaint culture people, not you, but just complaint culture people. Because I'm like, I'm not saying that somebody from New Orleans had to perform. I'm just asking that somebody better had to perform. Like somebody that's going to definitely give me a better show. I mean, shit, I don't care if LL Cool J do it because I know he's going to give a great show. I don't care if Travis Scott will do it or Missy Elliott would do it. Kanye West, even though you got to kind of watch Kanye West now. But at one point in time, Kanye West was putting on amazing shows.
Kanye West ain't gonna do nothing but put his wife pussy on the jumbotron.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like now you gotta be cautious. But there was a good run, maybe even a solid 10-year run, where Kanye West was probably the greatest performer, at least in urban music, like rap, hip hop, R&B, that neo soul, whatever you want to call it. He was probably the best performer of that space because I was there when he did the Glow in the Dark tour version at the Taste of Chicago for free, and then Rage Against the Machine came on right after that, and I was like, damn, like that's great, like he smoked that. So, but yeah, man, I mean, I think even more so, it's like I think people just wanted what they wanted because they know they can give you an option. You know what I mean? Like, and for all of that hoopla, all of that talk, right? Everything being said about how it should be Wayne, it should be this. I would have loved to see this, that, or whatever. The end result was Kendrick Lamar's halftime show being the most viewed ever in history. For me, nail in the coffin of how people just want to complain, love to complain, but at the end of the day, you're going to take what's given. And with that being said, just shut the fuck up. Well, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. You know what I mean? I mean, hey, that's really all I got. We appreciate y'all. Check it out. This episode of Made in the 1980s. You and your interaction with this show, when you watch it, whenever you watch it or listen to it, man, is greatly appreciated. And we want you to know that no matter how much you complain about whatever you like or don't like about this show, still going to keep going. And we hope that's okay or not. So until next time, always know that consensually, with no complaints, it's love.